hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Fishy? Uh-oh, what have you found?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed. First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion. Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking. The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy. He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall, not without a vision at least. And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh? Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it. Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible. At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician, but unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Okay, nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here, which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed. Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on. Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by his side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you? There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates more problems for me to deal with. But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
You mean Gemma? So you are the one who's been threatening her!
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it. Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out, and make it quick.
Do your worst!
Step right up. Stay calm, stay calm.
Everybody stand back!
Now disappear.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
And voila! Let's get this show on the road! Step right up! Here comes the finale!
You kids are tougher than you look.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking, and what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
If I had a mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me!
So it was jealousy.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it? But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing," is amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had. He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their mora. There was nothing he hated more than that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me. I had to kill him. There was no other way. He had to go.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I am. Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way, that the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
So that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
Lily has told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Look who's finally developed a conscience. What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we start preparing for your show?
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should go tell Gemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure. I wonder where humans come from.
Another test subject.
The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back!
I got
Clouds
carried.
high. The birds, I'll uproot you! One with the forest.
Another test subject. Suffocate.
One with nature.
Careless.
Torn to oblivion! Shine down!
I'm going in! Huh? Huh?
There is no escape! Ha!
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Let's nip that in the bud. And trout! one thing after.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds.
Everybody stand back!
I'll approve you! One with the force. Yeah.
Suffocate!
Shine down! Torn to oblivion! There is no escape! Shine down!
One with nature. Can't see?
Another test subject.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud. Let's nip that in the bud. Into the wind.
Everybody stand back!
The wind knows me. I hear everything. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Adventure time! Going in!
Let's nip that in the bud.
Torn to oblivion!
Into the wind. Clouds high. Birds. I'll approve you. And shroud. Keep up.
Another test subject.
Everybody stand back! Let's light it up!
One with nature. One with the force. What a drag. The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn. I hear everything.
Let's light it up! I'm going in!
And shroud.
Shine down! Now you shall perish! Everybody stand up!
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud, I'll uproot you! One with the forest.
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion! I'm going in! Shine down!
One with nature. Let's nip that in the bud. And shroud. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds come.
Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered! Teamwork is dreamwork!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud, I hear everything. One with the forest.
Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
Into the wind. Vengeance!
Everybody stand!
Let's nip that in the bud. The wind knows me.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
One with nature. I hear everything.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me. Let's nip that in the bud.
Now you shall perish! There is no escape!
I'll uproot you! Can't see?
I'm going in!
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
One with nature. Let's nip that in the bud. One with the forest.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Into the wind.
Torn to oblivion! There is no escape!
There's no end to this.
One with
Another test
nature.
subject.
Falling leaves. Adorn me!
Frost!
The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back! Let's light it up!
I hear everything. Can't see?
Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered!
One with nature. One with wind and cloud. I'll uproot you! One with the forest.
Have a little taste.
Yeah.
I got careless.
I'm going in!
Can't see?
There is no escape!
Another test subject.
I hear everything! And Shroud! Buried! Fallen leaves, adorn my night! The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back!
I'll uproot you! Time to go. One with nature.
Shine down!
The wind knows me. One with wind and cloud.
Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Into the wind. Clouds hide. The birds. Let's nip that in the bud. Can't see? One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
I'm going in! Let's light it up!
I hear everything.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Let's nip that in the bud.
I got careless.
Time to go.
Test subject.
The wind knows me.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
As one with wind and cloud. I'll uproot you! And Shroud! One with nature.
Shine down! Torn to oblivion! I'm going in! Let's light it up!
Into the wind. The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn me.
Off we go! Teamwork is dream!
I hear everything. Can't see?
There is no escape! Now you shall perish! Let's light it up!
One with nature. Let's nip that in the bud. One with the forest.
I'm going in!
One with wind and cloud. Can't see? I'll uproot you!
Torn to oblivion! The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Wait, isn't that Tubby? What's she doing in the cat's tail?
It's you two.
What are you doing here? Wait, and how did you get out of the Serenity?
Of course I can.
But this is your... Although the Adepti created teapot spirits primarily to manage and maintain their teapot realms. For instance, there's Jade Seeker, who travels far and... But it is true that
Paimon gets it now! Huh. Well, since you so rarely leave, what's the occasion today?
Indeed not. Although it may surprise you to learn that and as it happens, well, as I'm sure you've discovered, with the rising popularity of Genius Invocation TCG, inviting a friend to there's just one little problem. Many invitees currently have to travel an enormous distance to get here, turning the whole thing into quite an ordeal. I have therefore been sent that way. Anyone with an invitation will need only to think that you will be free to use the room whenever you wish to invite a friend to duel. And it will be...
Wow! This'll make things... But what if Margaret finds out? She's not gonna get mad at you for renovating...
That shouldn't be a problem, since the realm will not be physically located within the cat's tail. She was quite enthusiastic. Oh, Liyue's Adepti arts sound pretty useful. Could you double the size of the tavern while...
Huh. Yeah, that does happen.
Anyway, it's great that you're here. I was expecting to have to wait until... Right then. Okay, that should... Over to you. Now you can invite friends to duel with... Oh, and I almost forgot. A guy. Hope you will have fun playing Genius in...